In this lecture, we're going to be doing a practical exercise, going through everything we've learned so far. So I'm just going to go to the perspective. I'm going to maximize this. I'm going to create a box. I'm going to do a simple house, basic house. So I'm just going to do a box, a pyramid. And then while doing a pyramid, as you know, we draw the pyramid from the center. If I don't want it from the center, I have to change the creation method to base. So I'm just going to select this, snap, click and drag from this point to this point. Okay, and then I move it up. What I did, I just turned on snap by using the shortcut, which is the S key, and I'm sure I have vertex on, so that's why I snap the vertex to the vertex, and this is it. Now, it's gonna go to box. I'm gonna draw boxes for the windows, so click and drag for a window in the front. I'm just gonna check the height from the top view, and then move, shift and drag, copy a new window, and then I'm going to do another box in here, which is going to be changing the scale of it. So I'm going to scale it a bit on X and a bit on Y, so I can have the door. So this is going to be my door. Now, I'm just eyeballing everything, so I can select all. Now I'm moving them outside, so I can have this kind of windows and doors. Now, I'm just going to go box. From the top view, I'm just going to select a small cube in here, a box, and I'm going to do the height and then move it up to become as if it's a chimney. Okay, great. Now, I'm just going to create a plane for the ground. I'm just going to create, let's say, a tree, a cartoony tree. So I'm going to select a cylinder, a very simple cylinder, a thin cylinder. I'm going to create a sphere from the top. And I'm going to move it from here to make sure it stands in its place. As you can see, it looks like a lollipop now. Just going to scale it on the Z-axis, maybe make it a bit thicker on the XY. I think this is great. And now I want to have more than one tree. You can just select them both and then shift and drag and move it, for example, 3 trees. Now, I'm just going to draw sphere from here, from the top or from the left, or doesn't matter. I'm just gonna scale it. I'm gonna do multiple of these spheres. So shift and drag to do more than one. I'm just gonna do several ones. Okay, and I'm just gonna do it. I do a mirror of that. So I'm gonna do a mirror of these 3 objects. So I'm gonna group them. So group. I'm gonna do these as clouds. I'm gonna mirror these on the x-axis and I'm gonna copy them. So I'm gonna do another one set over here. They can be the same or different, it's fine. And I'm gonna do a sphere, which is going to be our sun. So I'm just gonna put it over here and make sure it's in the location that I want, maybe in here. Great. I can do more than that, so I can just click and drag. I can just rotate. I don't want them to be very similar to each other, so I can just rotate them to be a bit different, and that's it. Great. Now I'm just gonna create, let's say, a fence over here. So I'm just gonna do a box and shift and drag to do multiple boxes. And I'm gonna make sure, I'm not sure exactly how much I need, so I'm just gonna put a number, let's say 30. So I'm gonna delete this. Just gonna make sure that I'm gonna select all these boxes, deselect the ground, just move them, and I can do the selection in here too. I'm gonna copy them in here, and then at the same time I can rotate them all together with pressing shift. I'm gonna press shift, rotate with a copy, and at the same time I'm gonna turn on angular snap, so I can snap them 90 degrees in here. So now I'm just gonna place it, then make sure if I need to delete more boxes. So in my case, this is what I want. I'm looking from here. So I need to delete these 2. Now it's fair. Now I just have to select all these, deselect these 2 boxes, and deselect these 2 boxes, and then shift and drag copy this away. So now I have kind of a fence. I need to delete these fences, for example, maybe these two fences only, and these two, I'm just gonna make them a bit taller. So just gonna make them a bit taller, and that's it. So now I have this kind of land. I can definitely add more details to it. I'm just gonna do a chair. I'm gonna do a table. So I'm gonna create a box. It's going to be my chair, my seat, and this is the thickness of the seat. I'm just gonna move it upward. And then I'm going to create another box. So I'm going to create from the top view, which make things better. I'm just going to scale it a bit to make it squarish. This is it. So I'm going to create another box, which is going to be the legs of the chair. So this is it. If you can see from the front, it's not touching. So I can just scale it a bit. This is it. Then shift and drag, move another leg. Yes, and then select both. And shift and drag to have 4 legs. Now, I'm just going to select 2 of those, and then I'm going to shift and drag, move them up, make sure they are crossing this seat, so I can have the back seat. Okay, so that's basically it. I can just draw or copy any of those. For example, this shift and drag with the angle snap 90 degrees, and then I place it wherever I want, and then I scale it in the x-axis, z-axis, and y-axis, and z-axis, so I can have this kind of back. Okay, so this is what I want, and this is great. I can select it all. So I can select all, and then group it, and this is going to be a chair, and then I can copy it and have more than one chair if I want. I can do the same thing if I want to create a door or create, a table or whatever. Now, what I want to do now is select the objects that I want and I group them, make them clean. On the other hand, I can also name them. This is called name. So this is called the plane. The plane, I can call it, for example, ground. And that's going to be, for example, the leaves. And this is going to be the trunk. And so on. And definitely I can just group them and name them one together like this. I have it as a chair. Now, the other thing is I can give them a color. So I'm going to go here. You have the basic colors in here, and you can add custom colors. In my case, I have some kind of custom colors. So you can go add in here, add custom colors, and you can add whatever color you want, and you would add it here, other than the basic colors. So I have a brown, which is great. So I'm going to select these two. I'm going to select the door. I'm going to select the trunks. I'm going to give them this brown color. So select the brown color. Okay, now they are brown. Okay. Now I'm going to select this and this and this and the floor. And I'm going to give them the green color. Great. Now I'm going to select the windows. I'm going to give them a light blue color. And then I'm going to select the wall. Actually, this also. I'm going to give them something like orangey or something like that. This is going to be red. Okay, and that's it. Now, I have these. I'm just going to delete this. I have these. I'm going to give them a dark gray or gray for now. And this is going to be also gray, except the sun. This is the sun. I'm going to make it yellow. And that's yellow. So let's try to make it something like that. Okay, as if we have this kind of cloud. Okay, great. So now I have all this, and maybe the fence, I want them to be something different. So I can just go from the top. Okay, I can just select everything. Okay, right click, hide. So I hided all my models, and I kept with all the fences. So I select all the fences, and I give them my color. For example, in my case, I'm gonna give them, let's say white. Okay, maybe white or black. Let's go black. Okay, so this is black, and then I'm gonna right click, unhide all, and then I have this scene. A very simple scene. I'm just working around with everything we've learned. So I've used snaps, I've used angle snap, I've used the move, the rotate and scale, and definitely the navigation system. I've used clone, copy, and I've done a mirror. Mainly, I've done almost everything and done with the file. Now, I'm done with the file, and I loved what I've done. So now I can go File, Save As. I can save my file as a max file. So you can just set where do you want to save the file, the name of the file, and the format of the file, which is going to be .max. So if you want to save this file, I'm going to save it Practice01. Okay, and I'm going to save it as a file. Okay, and that's going to be saved on my computer, so I can later on open this file and work with it, or maybe add more stuff to it and play around with the models again and again. Thank you, and see you in the next session.